What is going on, guys? It's Constable Chen back at it with another video. Today, some more Madden 16 as we are going to do a rebuild with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So let's get this underway. Alright guys, let's take a look at their roster before I start making some changes. Quarterback position, obviously Jameis Winston, 87 overall in this roster I have uploaded. And then they got Mike Glennon backing him up. Running backs, Doug Martin. He'll be starting for me. There's also Sims who's 83. That's pretty good. Fullback, they have a really good fullback, 85 overall, and he's only 21 years old. That's very good. Check out the wide receivers. Mike Evans, 92 overall, and then they got the vet, Vincent Jackson. So both outside guys are 6'5", so big targets out there. And then they got Adam Humphries, rookie from Clemson, as the third wideout. Look at the tight ends here. They got Austin Seferian-Jenkins, 81 overall. Left tackle, rookie Donovan Smith, 76 overall. Left guard, J.R. Sweezy, 80. Center, Evan Smith. Ali Marpet, right guard, he's a rookie. Dotson, right tackle. Left end is Goldston, 83 overall. Right end, Ayers Jr., 96 overall. Gerald McCoy, obviously defensive tackle. Akeem Spence as well. Same with Clinton McDonald. They're pretty good defensive lines. Taking a look at their linebackers, they play a 4-3, I think. Daryl Smith, left outside linebacker, 86. Quan Alexander, 79. He was a rookie last year, I guess. And Levante David, 88 overall. Cornerbacks, Brent Grimes. They drafted Hargraves this past draft. But after that, it drops off. So definitely corners are something to take a look at. They got Major Wright at free safety. Chris Conti at safety. It's 78 overall. And then they got Aguero, 77 overall rookie kicker. And their punters, 89 overall. So actually not really a pretty decent team, I'd say. Just some positions need to get looked at. So let's address those issues right now with some trades. For the first trade, I look at the trade block. That's usually the first place I go to because they're the easiest trades to go through. So I traded for Micah Hyde, safety, 83 overall. Traded a middle linebacker and a 7th round pick. So that's a very good deal. My second trade, I'm going to trade for Luke Wilson. Just wanted some depth at the tight end position, and I really like Luke Wilson, what he brings to the table. So I traded a right tackle, my backup tight end, basically going to swap that out for Wilson, and also threw in a 6th round pick. With my first manual trade, I put McCoy on the trade block just to see what team had interest, and Pittsburgh Steelers were very interested, so I traded McCoy and 2 2nd round picks for Antonio Brown, one of them. Well, I guess he is the best receiver in the game, so that was a good trade for myself. Next trade here, I basically just swapped veteran players with Kansas City. Since I got Antonio Brown, I got rid of Vincent Jackson. Also dumped 2 3rd round picks into this trade. Also got Derek Johnson, so that's going to round out my linebacking core very nicely. Everyone is going to be over 86 overall in my linebacking core from left outside, middle, and right outside. So that's going to be a very good linebacking core. So I'm going to try to either get an O-lineman or a corner, and I'll catch up with you guys in a sec. Guys, I didn't end up making any more trades. I basically got what I needed in free agency. So I'll give you a quick look at my finished roster before I start simming. Just needed a third quarterback. I got Matt Moore. My running backs are the same. My fullbacks the same. Receiving core, I picked up veteran Roddy White. And then cut. I only keep 6 receivers, so I just cut the rest. So I think my receivers are good. Tight ends are the same. I traded for Luke Wilson before. Left tackles are the same. I looked at their pass blocking, and it's not that great, so look for them to be allowing a lot of sacks this season. Left guards, I picked up Asamoah from free agency, changed him to left guard. So have some good depth there. Picked up De La Puente. He's been like in every league of mine so far. My right guard stayed the same. Picked up David Stewart at right tackle. He'll probably start. He's got pretty good pass blocking. Picked up UC Umanura just to have a veteran on the D-line. That stays the same. Tried to trade away Robert Ayers, but no one really wanted him. Just picked up Jeremy Ratcliffe at defensive tackle. Left outside stay the same. Obviously, I traded for Derek Johnson earlier. Picked up Brandon Spike, so my middle linebackers are good. Right outsides are the same, so my linebacking core is, I would say, probably my bright spot on defense. Cornerbacks are a little weak. I got Brett Grimes, picked up Leon Hall from free agency, and then Hargraves, who they drafted just this year. Picked up Chris Cook as well. Definitely still need to work on that. Major Wright is going to be starting at free safeties. Everything stays the same there. Traded for Micah Hyde at safety, and then Conti's going to back him up. Aguirre is going to be my kicker. He's a rookie, and then Brian Anger at punter. So I'd say that's a pretty good team. Buccaneers are actually looking pretty good, so didn't really have to do too much things. So I'm going to sim it now to the midseason mark, and we'll catch up there. Alright guys, we're here at the midway point of the season. Our record right there is 3-4. Not that great considering what our team looks like. So let's take a look at injuries, see if that's the cause of our record. No injuries, that's great. Let's take a look at some stats here, see who's playing good and see who's not playing good. Winston, not that great, but he's been sacked 26 times already at the midway point of the season. So obviously that left tackle that I was talking about, he's just letting the boys just walk right in and hammer them. So leading rusher Doug Martin, he only has 1 touchdown, but Sims has 6 touchdowns. Antonio Brown's leading my team in receiving. Let's take a look at who's not coming back next year. This Donovan Smith guy, 16 sacks already at the midway point. That's not good. I think I'm going to sign a free agent before I start simming again here, because that's not good at all. Derek Johnson, leading in tackles. That was a good pickup for myself. Robert Ayers only has 3.5 sacks. That's not really that great. Aguero, 90% kicking. Blah, blah, blah. The rest is garbage. I'm going to pick up a quick left tackle. I'm just going to see who is the best run block, or pass block, I mean. Left tackle or right tackle, doesn't matter. Pass blocking. We had an 84. Or Baker with an 84. Let's take a look at right tackle. Maybe we could just move on, switch the guy's position. Max starts as 82, so we'll pick up a left tackle here. Should we go Campbell or Baker? Or this guy's pretty balanced too. Let's go Bruce Campbell here. Probably gonna start. I gotta cut someone, so I'm gonna cut someone. Sign Campbell. Put him in. Hopefully that'll be the answer to stop Winston getting sacked. So we'll hopefully see that in the playoffs. Here we are in the playoff stage of year 1 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Looks like we missed the playoffs here. We'll take a quick look. Went 8-8 on the year. Pretty good, but not good enough. Definitely need to work on my O-line to protect Winston, to get it to my playmakers on offense. As you can see, Winston was sacked 55 times, which is way, 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 way too much. But other than that, a pretty decent year. This offseason, I'm definitely going to be upgrading my O-line, so you'll see those numbers skyrocket, hopefully next year. Martin, 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns, and then Sims added 11 touchdowns on the ground. Look at receiving. Didn't even have a 1,000-yard wideout. Looks like Antonio Brown was hurt for a majority of the year. Mike Evans led the way anyway. Let's take a look at who was letting up all these sacks here. Yeah, that Smith guy led up 16 in the first half of the season. Then I signed Bruce Campbell, who led up 14 in the second half. My left guard, Asamoah, right tackle. So definitely need a good left tackle that not only just good, just basically just good at pass blocking. Protect my quarterback. Micah Hyde led the way in tackles. Has 3 guys over 100 tackles. Tackles for loss was Robert Ayers, and then he also led the way with 6.5 sacks, which really not that much. Interceptions, holy crap, Levante David had 8 picks. That's very good for a right outside linebacker. Aguero, good year kicking the ball as a rookie, 90%. Punting, no kick returns for a touchdown, no punt returns for a touchdown. So I'll see you guys in the off-season stage. Alright guys, here we are at the free agency recap. Show you who I signed in the off-season. Got Chris Long, Kyle Williams, added some depth, some veteran players on the defensive line. Also got Donald Penn, who I think's been in every rebuild league I've ever had because his pass blocking's like a 92, so he'll be starting at the left tackle spot. Also got Prince Amukamara, corner. Keem Ayers, probably going to change him to defensive end since they play 4-3. Also got Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. So now, excuse me, got the gas. Gonna start the draft. Actually found quite a bit of good players in this draft, so I traded away a lot of my picks. So I'm gonna try to trade back for some players' picks. So I'll show you what I did after the draft. Alright guys, here's my draft picks I selected. Only had the first, a second, and a fourth. This Jonathan Phillips left end, he's only a 68. He doesn't fit the scheme, but I think change him to right end. That's where the pass rushers are, so he'll fit in there. Got this Jackson middle linebacker in the second round. He's 78, and then picked up a 81 defensive tackle in the fourth round, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to edit my roster a little bit and see you in the preseason. Well, we'll try to make some more moves. For what I'm going to make in year 2, I'm going to trade for wide receiver Braxton Miller. I was a big fan of his in college. Very exciting player to watch. So I traded a cornerback because that's what they needed. Also threw in a 6th round pick, and they went through the trade. In trade, I got a veteran center in Berger, 83 overall. Traded a wideout and a 7th round pick. Next trade I'm going to do, I finally got my cornerback with Verrett from the San Diego Chargers. Traded Alexander. I know he's a good young linebacker, but I also drafted one that's just equally as good. What else did they need? They needed a center, so I threw in Smith, who's 77, also a 1st round pick, and the trade went through. So that's a good trade for me. Finally got myself a number 1 corner. Another trade I did, I traded for Brown, left tackle. I saw that they drafted like an 82 overall one, so I knew I could probably get him for a good price. I traded away Glennon, Chris Long, who I got in the offseason, and a 3rd round pick. Alright guys, that's going to do it for my trades and stuff for year 2. So let's take a look here. Winston, Garoppolo, and then I picked up Landry Jones. Running backs are the same, besides I picked up Stephen Ridley. Fullbacks the same. Wide receivers, I traded for Braxton Miller. Tight ends are the same, except I got Owen Daniels. Picked up Donald Penn in free agency. Left guards are the same. Traded for this Joe Berger. That's right guards are the same. Traded for Dwayne Brown. Drafted this guy in the 1st round, I think. Right ends are the same. Well, actually, they're not. I picked up Keem Ayers as a right outside linebacker, but changed him to a right end. I've been trying to trade away Robert Ayers, but the only team that's kind of interested, is the Cincinnati Bengals, and I just can't get a deal done to get I want Eifert or AJ Green, but they're not willing to budge on those players, so I've just kept them. Defensive tackles, signed Williams in free agency. Drafted this guy in the 5th round. Left outside stayed the same. Middle linebackers, drafted this guy in the 2nd or 3rd round. Picked up Calvin Connor. Right outsides are the same. Traded for Verrett at corner. Picked up Amukamara in free agency. All that stays the same. My safeties should be the same. Yeah, they are. And kicker and punter are the same. So let's sim to the midseason mark, and hopefully it's a different result than last year. Alright guys, while I was simming, I noticed that Antonio Brown was going to be injured for a little bit, so I wanted to get another wideout. I think this is a pretty good trade for me. I got Golden Tate, traded Prince Amukamara, my backup right tackle, and a second-round pick, so I think that's a good trade. So when Antonio Brown gets back from injury, my receiving core is just going to be nasty. Alright guys, we're here at the midway point of year 2 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As you can see, our record is 6-1, which is upgrade from 3-4 from last season. So let's take a look at see if anyone's injured first. That's usually what I do. Got Doug Martin and Robert Ayers. Not long term though, so that's fine. Take a look at some stats. See if the O-line's protecting Winston, and obviously they are. 16 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's only been sacked 16 times, which is an upgrade. Running the ball is pretty good. Receiving, Antonio Brown's back from injury, so we got the three-headed monster here with Tate, Evans, and Brown. It's a very good receiving core. See who's letting up the sacks. Donald Penn is, but your left tackles will be doing that. Derek Johnson's leading in tackles. Robert Ayers has 6.5 sacks at the halfway point. He had that number in the whole last year. And that's about it. So I'm going to sim to the playoffs. I'm pretty confident that this league will be coming to the end in the playoffs, because unless it's a total tank in the second half here, but we'll find out soon enough. Alright guys, here we are in the wild card week in year 2 with the Tampa Bay Bucks. As you can see here, the standings, we went 14-2, which led the way in our division, which is a very good year. Take a look at some stats. Looks like we had the second best offense in the league, and this is what happens when your quarterback's getting has time in the pocket. He could shred defenses. As you can see, Jameis Winston, 4,400 yards, 34 touchdowns, 9 picks, sacked 38 times. That's still quite a bit, but that's down from the 55 from last year, which is good. Doug Martin, just shy of 1,200 yards. He also had 9 touchdowns. Sims added 701 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground. So good year running the ball. Receiving core, I would say it's balanced. None of my 3 guys got over 1,000. That's all right. Some of them were close. Looks like Golden Tate had 10 touchdowns, which led my team. Blocking, Donald Penn led up the most sacks with 13. Defense, Derek Johnson, 132 tackles, led my team. Tackles for loss, Goldston, 7. Quarterback sacks, Robert Ayers had 10.5. Keem Ayers had 10, so that's a good year. Rushing the passer. Interceptions, Brett Grimes had 6, which led my team. Aguero, another good year kicking the football, 91% kicking. That's good. See if any kick returns for a touchdown. Does not look like it. So let's take a look at injuries before I start simming. See how far we get in the playoffs. With a record like that, I'd assume we'd go pretty far. Looks like my starting left tackle's out. That's not good. My best corner's out, and my starting right guard. So definitely some serious injuries heading into the playoffs, so I'm going to sim ahead here till our first game. Alright guys, here we are in the divisional playoff round. Looks like we match up against the Washington Redskins, so let's go ahead here, sim it. I already did player progression. Quite a bit of guys went up in overall. Aguero went from a 79 to a 91. He has 99 kick accuracy. Just had to boost up his overall. I'm pretty sure we lost, actually. If our contract's extended, that means we usually lose. So let's sim to the Super Bowl just to double confirm that. Definitely thought we could definitely make it to the playoffs with the team we had. But it looks like we're going to lose. We'll just check. Yeah, it looks like we lost here. Yeah, so that's going to do it for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer rebuild. This is the end of year 2. I'd say I rebuilt them pretty good. I was kind of surprised. Well, I shouldn't really be surprised. They're actually a pretty decent team. As you can see, Jameis Winston, he's up to a 95 now. I got the three-headed monster at wide receiver with Antonio Brown, Golden Tate, Mike Evans. Safarian Jenkins, 83. He's a pretty good tight end. I'd probably upgrade that. I like throwing to my tight end when I actually play, but my O-line's pretty decent. Had some injuries heading into the playoffs, which might have cost me. Verrett's back from injury. Linebackers are good. Little age with these two guys, Johnson and Smith, but that's all right. And safeties, I would probably upgrade to the free safety, but Micah Hyde is developing pretty good with that 88 overall. Special teams, you see Aguero with his 92 overall rating, that's good, and Anger's 96, so definitely a very good team here in Tampa Bay, but yeah, like I said, this is going to do it for this video. This is the end of year 2, rebuilt the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's my record after year 2, 14-2, which is good. Anyway, guys, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Comment what teams I should do for Madden 17, as that I think EA Access is next week, which is the 18th. I could be wrong though, but I'm looking forward to that. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in another video.